Hiroshima, a name forever linked with a terrible moment in history, but before that it was a lively city known as the City of Water and Willows. Located on Japan's main island, Honshu, Hiroshima was a place of rich culture and important industry. 7 rivers flowed through it, giving it a special look and feel. Before the war, Hiroshima was a major military hub. It was home to the headquarters of the Second General Army and a key center for military actions. But it was also a city full of life. Families went about their days, kids played in parks, and the streets buzzed with activity. In the spring, the air was sweet with the smell of cherry blossoms, a stark contrast to the awful smell of burning that would soon fill the air. The people of Hiroshima, like everyone in Japan, lived under the shadow of World War II. Even with the uncertainty and fear, they held on to hope, not knowing the terrible things that were about to happen. August 6, 1945 started like any other summer day in Hiroshima. The rising sun cast long shadows as people started their day. At 8:15 a.m., a sudden blinding flash lit up the sky. The American B-29 bomber, Enola Gay, had dropped an atomic bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, right over Hiroshima. The world had never seen a weapon like this. The people of Hiroshima were the first to experience its terrible power. The explosion, as strong as 15,000 tons of TNT, destroyed everything within 2 miles. The intense heat, as hot as 5,400 degrees Fahrenheit at the center of the blast, instantly vaporized buildings and people. A deafening roar followed the bright light, and a shockwave flattened buildings miles away. The air filled with dust, debris, and the cries of the injured. In seconds, the lively city of Hiroshima was reduced to burning ruins. After the bomb, a giant mushroom cloud, 15,000 meters high, glowed over the destroyed city. The air was thick with dust and smoke, making it hard to breathe. Those who survived the initial blast came out of the rubble to a scene they could have never imagined. Buildings were turned to ash and fires burned everywhere. Bodies, some burned beyond recognition, lay in the streets. The injured, many with terrible burns, cried for help. Hospitals were too full and didn't have the supplies to handle so many injured people. Water was contaminated and food was scarce. The survivors, many sick from radiation, faced a dark and uncertain future. The atomic bombing of Hiroshima left lasting damage on the city and its people. The physical damage was clear in the ruins and the long-term health problems of the survivors. Many got cancer and other illnesses because of the radiation. The emotional trauma was even worse. Survivors known as hibakusha carried the invisible wounds of that day. They remembered the horror, the loss of loved ones, and the fear of the invisible enemy radiation. The bombing also tore apart Hiroshima's social structure. The city lost a whole generation, leaving a gap that took decades to fill. The trauma of the event shaped the city's identity and its dedication to peace. Even after such terrible destruction, the people of Hiroshima showed amazing strength and determination. They started the hard work of rebuilding their lives and their city. From the ashes, hope emerged. People cleared debris, built temporary shelters, and slowly put their lives back together. Help came from all over Japan and the world, bringing much-needed medical supplies, food, and building materials. Rebuilding Hiroshima showed the strength of its people. It was a long and difficult journey, but it showed their commitment to life and peace. One of the most touching symbols of Hiroshima's strength is the paper crane. Inspired by Sadako Sasaki, a young girl who got leukemia from the bomb, folding paper cranes became a worldwide symbol of peace. Sadako believed that if she folded 1,000 paper cranes, her wish would come true. Sadly, she died from her illness, but her story continues to inspire hope and a desire for peace. Every year, millions of paper cranes from around the world are sent to Hiroshima's Peace Memorial Park. They remind us of the terrible cost of war and the shared hope for a peaceful future. Today, Hiroshima is a modern, lively city, but beneath its modern look, the memory of August 6, 1945 remains. The city remembers its tragic past, not with anger or revenge, but as a strong reminder of the horrors of nuclear war. Hiroshima has become a world symbol of peace, a testament to human resilience, and a solemn warning about nuclear weapons. The city's Peace Memorial Park and Museum are powerful reminders of the human cost of war and the urgent need for peace and getting rid of nuclear weapons. The city's message is clear: no more Hiroshimas. This message is important in a world still facing the threat of nuclear weapons. Every year on August 6th, Hiroshima pauses to remember the victims and the importance of peace. The Peace Memorial ceremony, held in the Peace Memorial Park, is a serious and moving tribute to those who died and a call for a world without nuclear weapons. Survivors share their stories, urging the world to learn from the past. The ringing of the peace bell marks a moment of silence, a time to think about the human cost of war and the importance of working towards peace. The courage of the Hibakusha, who have shared their stories and worked for peace, has touched many lives. Their stories remind us that behind the numbers of war are individual stories of suffering, loss, and resilience. Hiroshima's story is a powerful reminder that working for peace is not something passive. It takes active work, talking to each other, and understanding and empathy. The city's legacy is a call to action for all countries to work towards a world free from the threat of nuclear war. The lessons of Hiroshima are just as important today as they were in 1945. As long as nuclear weapons exist, there is a chance they could be used, threatening all of humanity. Hiroshima's story pushes us to work for a future where such weapons are a thing of the past. The road to peace is long and hard, but the people of Hiroshima, through their strength, their commitment to remembering, and their unwavering hope, remind us that it is a journey worth taking. Their story is a beacon of hope, lighting the way to a future without fear.